Feel the air moving in and out. Oh, that's much better. You guys feel how that lightened up? Much better. All right, one more deep breath. Nice deep breath. Fill up your lungs, nice and slow. Breathe. You'll find 99.99% of your problems resolved by sleep. Okay, come on back. Does anybody have any questions now? Before we move forward. Okay, good. I'm going to get off the indigos a little bit, but realize everything I talk about tonight, whether it's indigos, law of attraction, stages of human growth, whatever, it's all interrelated. Nothing that we talk about, nothing in our world is not interrelated. Yes, sir?
I have a question. What made you jump to the, what was your breaking point to finally question yourself, and then how did you go about that? I know you said your mom was an instrumental part of that, but
Well, I don't think there was a point I don't think I can remember a point where I didn't question myself. That was just part and parcel of my life. I was always questioning why, how come, why don't I fit in, how come people don't see things like I see them, how come I know these things and nobody else knows them, how come I can tell people things without having any physical evidence, without going to school, without having been there. You know, and it's empowering at the same time as it is frustrating and debilitating when you tell somebody something that you just know. You just got the information from spirit, from the source, and you tell them that and they go, how do you know that? I don't know, I just know. And then, well, you can't just know you heard that somewhere or somebody told you that, or the usual explaining it away. So there wasn't really a time where I wasn't questioning myself. It wasn't until I was 29 and went to my metaphysical fair and heard about indigos, and then read some of these same things I've given you guys today. And I read that description and went, aha, holy God, I've found myself, and it was in that moment that it all kind of congealed. And the funniest thing is there was a guy, Alan, that I know will never remember me. He might see my picture one day and go, he looks familiar, but he will never remember me. But we were standing in line to go see our talk, and we were talking about indigos or something or other, and he looks at me and goes, maybe you're an indigo. Maybe you should write a book. Thanks, Alan. It's one of those divine things that, God's talking to you sometimes when a stranger goes, hey, da-da-da. This guy turned around and he goes, oh, maybe you're an indigo. Maybe you should write a book. And that really lit a fire in my butt. And it kind of started me on this, whirlwind of experience. And in my experience, I've been lucky enough that I got to spend a lot of time with Daniel Brinkley, who is one of the foremost people with near-death experiences. Struck by lightning twice. Don't talk on the phone. Lightning storm. Took him twice to figure it out, but I got through him. I got to meet Stan Romanek, who some of the foremost abduction cases. Through them, I've gotten through my mother and through trips and stuff like that. I got to meet all kinds of amazing people. So I know we live here, and we may be a little starving for attention in our little groups here, but there's people out there, and they're coming. There's lots of good folks. So once you open the door, once you find that kind of had your aha moment, which I'm sure a lot of you had your aha moments which brought you here, or somebody just dragged you. Either way, you're here. But there's a community out there. There's a lot of us out there. I met this guy Thomas on Facebook. He found me because he saw the ad. That's how we connect. The internet is our new best friend. We get to connect, we get to be with each other, we get to communicate with each other. And no matter what the government's trying to do, no matter what the people behind the government's trying to do, no matter what the banks are trying to do, no matter what anybody's trying to do, we get to congeal as a community and help each other out. So as you move along, as you grow up, as you keep doing what you're doing, know that there's people out there. So I know for a lot of us, a lot of indigos, a lot of light workers, a lot of first wave, second wave people, there's a disconnection. You know, they feel different, they feel misunderstood, they feel alone, and they don't know, they don't understand why they feel that way. And which is why I'm trying to get my second book out, because I cover some of that, but that'll come out soon. I'm really bad at self-promotion, sorry. But
When does the second book come?
I'm in talks with the lady in England that does my typesetting right now. I just gotta pay her, and then she'll do her magic, and then hopefully within soon, very soon. The dentist got most of my money this week, so we're gonna wait another week. But as we move forward, you know, in our explorations, we realize that we're not alone, and we are connected. So, with what I call the human condition, we live in this dichotomy of humanism, that we are these eternal, expansive, spiritual beings in itty bitty living space. You know, we live our little, you know, we live in our little bodies. You know, these are our, for lack of a better term, our little spacesuits that we come in as spirit, and we animate and we walk through life in for experiences. And it's difficult for us, especially when you're a light worker or an indigo child, or you know, someone who's a little more connected to spirit, to kind of deal with that dichotomy of, well, I know I feel so much more than what I see and what I experience right here. And so it causes a lot of discord. So be gentle with yourselves as you move along through your life. You know, be gentle with the kids, and you know, just know that there is support. There are people out there. There are people just like you out there. You know, and as we congeal and come into community, you know, we'll have a lot more experiences and a lot more acceptance, a lot more love, and hopefully, you know, in my experience and a lot of things that I like to study and look at, 2012 is going to be one of these years that really is the tipping point. If you pay attention to the news, if you watch a lot of, you know, TV and stuff like that, I've never seen more ghost shows and more spiritual shows and, you know, more connected shows like that than ever. It's because we're all moving in that direction. You know, the energy is changing for us. I mean, and you can get, you know, real scientific and talk about, you know, moving into the Aquarian age and moving into the photon band, and you know, the vibration of the Earth speeding up, which is causing our bodies to speed up, which is causing us to feel like time is speeding up. All that information is out there, but I'm not supposed to talk about that tonight. We'll cover that later, but the information's out there that people are doing this stuff, and one of the things I want to make everybody aware of, that whatever your job is, it's number one to be who you are, exactly who you are. And there's lots of ways I cover in my book and through my work about how to figure out, how to uncover that genuine soul, that genuine person inside of you. And a lot of that is, you know, looking at your past, looking at your parents, you know, doing the work. But as you pull that out, you'll find the things that inspire you, that give you purpose, are the exact things, the exact paths that you're supposed to take. That's your job. I talk to a lot of people about, you know, financial collapse and the government and all these things. Well, what about this? What are we going to do about that? They're worried. They're freaking out because so much is going on right now. There are people who have been divinely guided to cover these things, to do their part. So you have to focus on what you can do and what you're divinely guided to do, especially in this year and the years to come. So don't worry so much about what's going to happen. We have help. We have lots and lots of help, thankfully. But as we move forward in the coming years and everything else, your main job is to be you. And to be you for the world to see, and to come with like-minded people like this, and to spread that vibration. You know, they say, I'm not a real good Bible student, but you know, where it says, where two or more gather in my name, you know, I'll be there. That's what we're doing tonight. So, I mean, you know, kind of segueing back to your question, one of the reasons I questioned myself so much, one of the reasons I got on this path was to try to figure all that out. And the reason I'm up here is not to teach anybody anything, it's for me in my own learning. Because I have not learned anything more successfully than when I've been working with other people. You know, I spend a lot of time judging myself, especially in the past 10 years, because I had this awareness, and I knew a bunch of things, and I thought were really neat, really good. But I couldn't really, I had a hard time applying those things in my life. And I couldn't figure it out until I started helping other people apply it in their lives. And they would get it. And I would go, oh, that's how you do it. You know, and that's how I started figuring out what I'm supposed to do. You know, and this is the path that we go on. We just stumble along and trip over things and dig, and grow. You know, we're all digging our own garden. So, are there any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if a child at age 5 is diagnosed ADHD, 2 years later have the monocle ODD added to it. A couple years after that, said he's autistic. And just this year, at age 13, is being told he has Asperger's. Now, does that fall into that realm of Indigo?
Yes. Usually, and that's a real severe kind of classic case of our antiquated system of medicine and psychology and everything else trying to shove this person into an old box. And I haven't heard of anybody quite that severe where they haven't been given every label before, but that's a classic example of, well, you must be this. Well, you must be this. Well, you must be this. And just trying to grab whatever characteristics of that child and go, okay, well, you're ADD, or you're OCD, you got Asperger's, or you're autistic, or